Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian NV Strong Style, File and Stargirl, Chapter 9, the long-awaited appearance of the JSA, the classic JSA, in flashback mode, but the classic JSA nonetheless. Let us geek about it for a scant few minutes, because a few things happened in this episode, as well as the big secret that's been hanging over, the secret that Pat and Barbara are aware of that they have not told Courtney about, finally comes to light and of course has damning effects on relationships and trust and that sort of thing. We're going to find out just what it takes for Courtney to forgive Barbara and Pat. This episode opens with a flashback to Bruce Gordon, who we know was the explorer who found the Black Diamond originally, brought Eclipso back to civilization. We see him just in dire straits, all these things that have happened because, of course, a magical entity offering you fame and fortune, that's not going to ever turn out bad, is it? Of course it does. Things happen, people die, people's lives get ruined, and Bruce Gordon contemplates suicide and ending it all. And Eclipso convinces him that he'll turn things around, he'll get him his wife back, or girlfriend back, if he just allows him to take control. Which that's what Bruce does, but of course, evidently things didn't happen that way. Fast forward to the present, we have this big storm rolling in. People are kind of battening down the hatches, and we see Pat and Mike kind of getting prepared with supplies and stuff they're going to take down to the cellar, I guess, in case things get super dire, which they seem to be. Next thing you know, we see Pat, there's a flower, we see a flashback to the funeral for Dr. Midnighter's daughter. We see the old school JSA with the appearance of John Wesley Shipp as the Silver Age and Jay Garrick. John Wesley Shipp, love the guy. Love him in that role, seeing him with the others. Just seeing the others was just cool, even just in their suits in the funeral, because we know who they are, you know, so that was cool. Sylvester goes off with the Shade, and we later find out the Shade kind of tells him all about Eclipso and what it is. It's pure evil, the fact that the Shade fears Eclipso, and that the only thing that they can do to stop him is to kill the host. You kill the host, Eclipso goes back into the Black Diamond. As long as nobody touches it, you can put it in a box and seal it away. And that's, we find out, what fractures the team, the fact that they decide to take out Bruce Gordon. Of course, Pat is against it because it breaks the code, the no-kill code that the JSA has. They're after justice, not vengeance. It's even said that, you know, they would be making a victim of the victim, and that just runs counter to everything that they're all about. But of course, this is Eclipso. This is a dude that it's said in the story, it takes out Dr. Fate, takes out Alan Scott, takes out the Hawks. So what are they going to do? The forces that are left, what can they do against us? They have to take extreme measures, because the dude says he's going to go after their family, and just have to do what must be done. It comes down to a vote. Jay says no. Wildcat says yes. Our Man says yes. Pat says no. Pat is thinking, due to a conversation earlier, that he's finally gotten through to Sylvester. Sylvester's going to come on the right side of the argument with it, and nope, Sly decides to vote yes. They got to take him out, which is what they do in the episode. Pat's totally against it. He gets dragged along, and we find out that that's actually what fractured the team, sent them on their separate ways. They reformed when the ISA reformed, but by then they just weren't a team anymore. It's probably why they got taken out. So it kind of leads back to the argument of why they got taken out so easily. I know some people were kind of bristling at that, even back in the first episode, seeing the JSA get taken out so completely. But here we kind of get a reason why. It's like they were fractured. They weren't a team anymore. Who knows how many of them were even doing any superheroing after this. Maybe they rested on their laurels, their skills faded, their work as a team faded. So now we have a really perfectly good, justifiable reason as to why they got taken out. Love that. See, that's what this show is. Just the show gives you something in season 1 and gives you a logical payoff here in season 2. The writing on this show is so good. It's just layered, and they plan stuff and they pay it off. Love this show. The one thing about it, though, it kind of, again, accentuated the fact that the JSA, as good as they are, heroic as they are, they're pretty much all dicks to Pat. And you got to kind of wonder why he stuck around. I hope they explore that, actually, in future episodes as to why he stayed around, because he was emotionally abused by these dudes. They just didn't think of him as anything except the mechanic. And maybe they had some good times with him, or maybe we're not seeing these situations where they were more cordial with him, or even treated him like a friend, not just a dude that fixes their car, you know. But they were dicks in this episode. Every other flashback we see with Starman, he's a dick to him. So I just kind of really want to explore Pat and just kind of see why he stayed. What did he hope to accomplish? Who did he hope to be, staying around all these guys who treat him like dicks? Yeah. Interesting to see if we get to see. Like I said, just the show gave us something in the first season. We got the payoff. Are we going to get a payoff to that? Are they even thinking? Am I the only person kind of thinking that? Remains to be seen. Mike got whammied. We see he's still dealing with the fact that he killed Icicle. He got whammied by Eclipso. Pat got whammied by Eclipso, and then of course we find out it makes him tell Courtney what really happened. Next thing you know, family's arguing as Kid Eclipso is like watching through the window, just reveling in what he has done. And just the fact that he's just taken out the team so completely, so easily. Now, he hasn't whammied Courtney yet, so I'm wondering if that's coming. Or if maybe her connection to the staff maybe keeps him from doing it. Who knows? Remains to be seen. That could be coming in the next episode. But just to kind of see this utter devastation, this chaos and devastation he's brought to the first JSA. And then the junior JSA, he's kind of like the reason why they're fracturing and basically falling apart. It remains to be seen how they're going to pull themselves back together. But I love this plan. This kind of, it's another slow burn episode. If I had to give one knock to this episode, it was the fact that we did not get the JSA in action. We saw them in costume talking. We got John Wesley Shipp back as Jay Garrick. So I kind of wanted to see a little bit of JSA-ness. Will we see it in another flashback? Will we see any of them come back in future episodes? In the third season, maybe? Who knows? Remains to be seen. You know, John Wesley Shipp is always up for this kind of thing, so it'd be criminal not to use him in that capacity. So I guess that would be my only singular knock is, and maybe that's on us, on myself, for kind of giving those lofty expectations or hopes or dreams of seeing that. Maybe we'll see it in the future. We just haven't got there yet. Remains to be seen. Other than that, fantastic episode. It was another slow burn, but there was just a lot of stuff happened without a lot of stuff happening. And I love that about this show. It was just pure, just character development, character movement, relationship movement. It was just things are moving along without it seeming like a whole bunch needed to happen in this episode. I love this. I love the show. Love the writing. This is the best superhero show going today, period. So those are some of my thoughts on it, scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me, social media, talk to me there, talk to me here. Till next time, let us geek.